Just 22 miles away from Ridgecrest, closer to the epicenter, is the small town of Trona, another community still working to rebuild. 23 ABC's Tori Cooper spoke to a local pastor and parishioner about how the community came together during a time of devastation and turmoil.
Yes, a number of church parishioners in Trona were forced out of their parish, the aftershock still jolting them weekly or leaving many on edge. However, residents say the quake didn't shake their faith, it strengthened it.
In a town with just a bit more than 1,000 people, no one saw this coming.
I just prayed to God that forgive everybody in Trona, Ridgecrest.
Nearly 6 months after a 6.4 and a 7.1 magnitude earthquake hit the cities of Ridgecrest and Trona, Patricia Circles, a parishioner at St. Madeleine Church, says it's a 4th of July weekend she will never forget.
It started slow and then it just got stronger and it just seemed to last forever. And we dove under the table and just things were crashing around us.
The trauma of the unexpected natural disaster still creeping in. Each time a small aftershock hits her town once again.
You still have eerie feelings when we have an aftershock. You're like, okay, is this going to continue? Is this it? You just don't know.
But Circle says there was only one thing on her mind when she felt the initial shake.
My first thought, are we going to be able to make it home?
Cracks rippled through the only 2 safe routes in and out of Trona, trapping many in the small community. Circles was worried she wasn't going to make it home to her 2 sons who were in Trona at the time when she was in Ridgecrest running errands.
That was the scariest thing,
Uncertain if she would be reunited with her family or if they were okay. Suspense was also overtaking Circles as she pondered whether her church would still be standing after more than 3 decades of service to the community.
Well, you can see the cracks, and these are all as a result of the earthquake.
A church built of cinder block and hope, now cracked in many places, and the aftermath still lingering inside and out. Shortly after the quake, the church building red tagged by code enforcement and parishioners forced out of their church.
Which we've moved from this beautiful church into a living room, so that's hard.
For more than 180 days, local parishioners without their place of worship, now practicing their faith inside this back house with no answers regarding what's next for their parish.
So as long as we can have mass, it's all that matters.
Now, the biggest question left unanswered for Circles and her parishioners is whether or not the Diocese of Fresno is going to choose to rebuild their church or close down their building.
Think positive and pray.
Her faith tested, but the Trona community and other neighboring churches coming together.
They have a strength that is, I think, special.
Trona Christian Fellowship pastor Chris Darling, along with 5 other churches and surrounding communities, pulling together essential resources during a time where there was no water or electricity in the midst of triple-digit heat.
It was amazing because everywhere, out of state, in state, rich people, poor people, just saying we wanted to help.
With the support of many others, the fellowship was able to provide water, food for children and their parents, hygiene products, and more, under one condition.
Help came from all sections of our community, and we had one rule: nothing negative said here.
A consistent message that prevailed during a time of destruction and loss. Now parishioners just hoping the Diocese of Fresno ignites the life back in their church.
And pray that, they don't shut us down.
Now, with the help of all of the generous donations, the Christian Fellowship of Trona was able to collect enough goods to last more than 30 days in case another major earthquake strikes Trona. But for now, in studio, I'm Tori Cooper for 23 ABC News, connecting you.